2024 is squarely behind us, and with the channel having recently passed 500 subscribers, I want to take a few minutes to look back at what we've done over the past few months, and also talk about where we'll be going in the future. The genesis of the channel was all the way back in April, when I started putting together the first thoughts for my army building video, How to Fight and Win. At the time, the plan was to make videos for Legions Imperialis that were focused on using real-world military tactical doctrine, and I think you can see that borne out in the video. In addition to army building, I wanted to cover planning, different forms of offense and defense, and special operations like airborne assaults. The second style of video that I wanted to produce was a series of individual videos focused more on the tactics of specific units, and these would be more focused on actual performance within the game. So, for instance, we might have one video entirely dedicated on the Leman Russ Vanquisher or the Leviathan Dreadnought. That was the plan, anyway. And if you look back in the catalog, you'll see that our first video was actually a battle report released in September. I had more or less finished How to Fight and Win over the summer, but I have to admit that I didn't have the courage to record the audio or release it. And that first battle report is what gave me the push that I needed to get these onto YouTube. Right on the heels of the release of that video, we got the news of the coming Mechanicum release. And I have to say that distracted me from my initial plans. Between covering the Mechanicum release and producing battle reports, I really set my initial plans aside. And since September, we've focused mostly on that and battle reports. We've released 22 total videos, 8 of which have been battle reports. And while I'm happy to say that most videos, if not all, seem to have been well received, I think it is clear that the battle reports are far and away the most popular video. So much for 2024. Let's look at what's coming in 2025. And the most pressing and possibly thorny issue is the potential need to change the channel name. It's come to my attention that there is another channel out there called Tactica Imperialis, and while they don't seem to have released a video in a long time, the names are so similar that I think it may be wise to change. And unfortunately, I'm very fond of Tactica Imperialis at this point, since I think it captures a lot of what I want this channel to be about. But because the names are so similar, I think a change may be a necessary evil in order to avoid conflict, as our channel hopefully continues to grow. I'm glad to say also that the new thumbnails painted by Mark Smiley seem to have been a great success, based both on your direct feedback in the comments and what seems to be a directly correlated increase in views. Mark is prepared to continue the project, and my goal is to have one such painting for each army featured on the channel battle reports, plus a few to cover other types of videos, so stay tuned for those. By passing 500 subscribers, we have fulfilled one of the 2 major requirements to apply for YouTube's partnership program and to become monetized. The next requirement is simply to reach a certain number of watch hours, which we should be able to achieve if the channel continues to perform as it has over the past few months. The main effect of applying for and being accepted into the partnership program is that at this level it will allow channel memberships, although there are a few other more minor benefits. I haven't quite decided how to handle memberships yet, but one possibility might be to allow members to submit army lists every month for review on the channel, or to vote on what army will be featured in the next battle report. If those incentives sound good to you, or if you have other incentives you'd like to see in a membership program for this channel, please let me know down in the comments. As they grow, a lot of hobby channels seem to expand to Patreon as a way to make some additional income, and to expand their communities through Facebook or Discord, or both. I admit that I'm reluctant to follow their example. I started this channel because I really like Legions Imperialis, as is probably evident, and I enjoy talking about it and sharing my thoughts with you. And what I don't want to do is to push all that aside in the hopes of making a few extra dollars. I am a fairly busy man as it is, and I don't want to spread myself so thinly that the channel suffers. The other thing that I'm conscious of right now is the fact that the video component of the channel is a bit lacking. Right now, for instance, you're watching essentially a PowerPoint presentation, which I know is not really ideal. Over the coming year, I'm hoping to find a way to improve that, maybe with stock footage or something to make the visual component of these presentations a little bit more engaging and interesting. As far as the actual channel content for 2025, my goal is to produce at least 2 videos every week. Of those, I'd like to produce at least 2 battle reports each month. And what I'm choosing to call doctrine videos, the ones focused on tactics and so on, will take more work, and so I'm looking to produce at least one every month. I still want to start the How to Use series, and I'll probably insert those during slower weeks, or if they're more popular, maybe more often. Again, though, I am conscious that the Battle Report audience seems to be the highest proportion of the viewers on the channel, and so I'm planning to prioritize those going forward. Of course, I'll still cover news and releases as they come up. I'm not a huge fan of kit reviews and sprue reviews and so on, but if there's interest, I will make videos as I get new products. I'd also like to start making some lore videos, probably just talking about things that interest me about the Horus Heresy or other issues that draw my attention, always with an eye, though, to the analytical, military focus of the channel. I also think it would be fun to do some painting videos, so I'm working on trying to get a good setup for that. That's a whole other skill, though, so it might take some time before we're ready to release those for real. Until I have the setup proofed, I might do a few videos just using still photos so I can at least talk through my process and get a feel for whether you guys are interested in learning more about painting from me. I'm not the world's best painter, but maybe you guys would just enjoy hearing my process and how I think about painting Legions Imperialis figures. Last of all, I have a special project that I've been working on for a while now, and that will be the subject of its own video series. It isn't related to Legions Imperialis specifically, but it is focused on the Horus Heresy, so it won't be a regular feature on the channel, but even so, I hope it will be something you will find interesting and exciting, so stay tuned for that. I think that about covers it. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. The channel is small, but growing, and every bit of support counts. That's all for now, Commanders. Dismissed.